got some good news for your ears. More of that good stuff is coming up. And even better news for your hair. The best hair care is at Sephora. They've got all kinds of products for every kind of hair. From brands like Amika, Kerastase, Day, and K18. You knew where to get great audio. Now, you know where to get great hair care too. Sephora, good news for great hair. Shop hair care now at Sephora.com.
Jif peanut butter. It's that jiffing good, it doesn't really need advertising. So instead, enjoy the calming sounds of the ocean. Jif. Ooh, it's that jiffing good. Get your Jif at Jif.com.
As a sports fan, I have to confess. Sometimes the game gets kind of boring. That's when I unfold my Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 and use multi-window viewing on its large screen. Boring game? I'm checking out my fantasy baseball league at the same time. Score still 1-0? I'm replying to emails in the other window, scoring points with the boss. Semifinals finally getting exciting? I'm buying tickets to the finals and booking my flights. Can your phone do that?
The new Galaxy Z Fold 7. Get yours at Samsung.com.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Back with another episode of Keeping Current with Kansas City. This is Thad Bell. With me, I have Daniel Sperry and Kerry Robinson. How are you, Mr. Sperry?
I'm doing well. How about you, Thad?
I am tired, so let's not drag this out too damn long.
I'll make sure I keep my rants to a 30-minute minimum.
Okay. Kerry, are you going to time his ass?
I am. I have my phone ready with a stopwatch.
Yeah.
I hope I don't talk for 30 minutes. I'm just saying that out loud.
I was at Sporting KC presser today, Tuesday, and I gave a long rambling question, and I turned and looked at Blake and said, "That was a Sperry question, wasn't it?" He goes, "Yep."
I've been cutting mine down as much as I can lately. So
we both do it once in a while, but I do have to give you a little crap.
Oh, of course.
I know. I have some stories to tell you later, but not on this one.
No fun.
All right. I think we were mostly here to discuss Kansas City Current's free agent situation. Who's under contract, who's not, who should we keep, who shouldn't we? And by we, I mean them. I have no money in this, so it's not me. There is a pretty significant amount of free agents, wouldn't you say?
13, technically 12, or in reality 12. One of them is Jericho, who just went on loan to the other Denmark team.
And one of them also is a mutual, so they could be a free agent or they may not be a free agent. I'm not.
That's Ivory. No, Laurel
Yes.
Ivory.
Yep.
So I was looking at the list and I was trying to figure out if it was going first name, last name, first name.
I know it's I have like one list up on one computer, I have the other list on the other computer, and they're not in the same order, which has been throwing me off. Okay, let's just run down the list of free agents. I'm gonna go through the names real quick and we'll go back and discuss. Potential free agents going into 2026: Bailey Feist, Claire Gagne, Kristen Hamilton, if it's by mutual decision, Laurel Ivory, Lola Bonta, Mary Long, Haley Mace, Rocky Rodriguez, Katie Scott, Kayla Sharples, Reagan Steiglieder, however you say her name, Bia, and Jericho. Is that accurate? Carrie is double checking me.
Yep.
All right. So back to the top. It's only. I mean, we might as well just go in alphabetical order. Bailey Feist. Should they or will they re-upper?
I think that it is a good. I would resign her, only because she already doesn't see the field that much. I'm assuming of them. Again, we don't know anything about cap space or whatever. I'm assuming it is a lower contract. And when she does come off the field, or off the bench or makes the bench, it's usually to come into a game that needs more of a veteran appearance.
How about you, Daniel?
I don't like saying at this point of the season when I have to cover them for the remainder of it that I don't want a player back necessarily.
No, I understand.
However, I would be curious to see as I'm just trying to like kind of browse the general who will be a free agent list. Um, how my thing is like, do you have room there for younger players to come in and sign like college signs to kind of fill out that? Because Rocky Rodriguez to me is a player you bring back. Lo LaBonta, I know we'll get there, but like in my head, I think there's a couple more in the midfield that are more pressing in the pecking order to keep, and I would be interested to see like if Lowe gets a good considerable raise, there's less money to go maybe towards keeping Feist, and maybe ends up on a cheaper like out of college type of a signing kind of a thing. So I could see why they wouldn't keep her around because I think her minutes in general have been limited and she has not been the first person off the bench in the midfield as much as Rocky has. She has been the second or third off the bench, and I think that has been the change from last year to this year in her role. And I think for me, like that maybe shows that they have ended up going in a different direction.
And there's two other real factors to this on any of these questions. One, does the player want to come back? Because they may not, as much as they would love Kansas City, as much as all this other stuff. There are 2 expansion teams coming into the league soon who may want to spend more money on a player who can come in and put in some very good solid minutes and be a leader and stuff like that. So even a player like Bailey Feist or Reagan, who may not see the field a ton of time on the current, they might see a ton of time with Denver or Boston.
Correct. So yeah, I mean,
let's maybe approach this a little bit differently, because I know I'm in the same boat. Sometimes I don't want to say, oh, they should not keep this player. Maybe we should just approach it as this would be a higher priority player to sign and a lower priority player to sign. Is that a fairer way to do it, you think, without being
fine?
I know, because I don't want to put you in a bad spot that like you're going to go interview insert player's name here, and they're going to go, I was told you didn't want me to stay.
I know what you're doing.
I've been yelled at by players before, so
you probably deserved it.
Once or twice, yes, and once or twice, no.
Okay. But yeah, I just think like there's others on this team that probably need to get re-signed first, and I would be curious what that would look like for Bailey Feist.
What does every USAA member have in common? Family. We're one big family who supports the military community and their eligible families. And if you, your parent, or spouse served, you could join our family and save big on auto insurance. Visit USAA.com/join today to check your eligibility. Membership eligibility and product restrictions apply and are subject to change. USAA means United Services Automobile Association and its affiliates, San Antonio, Texas.
New Vitamin Water Zero Sugar Pineapple Passion Fruit is packed with vitamins, just like the amount of peas we packed in that sentence. It's packed like your tote bag, the one you stole from your ex, or your overpriced half a studio apartment, or extra rushed rush hour traffic. Packed like your calendar, triple booked at 5, of course. Grab a Vitamin Water. Did we mention it's packed with vitamins?
Hey, it's Paris. I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
My name is Happy Gilmore. I haven't swung a club in years.
You know what you gotta do. Grip it and rip it.
Or... Oh, now that is some Happy Gilmore!
Everyone is talking about the comeback kid, Happy Gilmore.
Happy knee.
Yeah, baby!
Happy Gilmore 2, only on Netflix July 25th. Rated PG-13, may be inappropriate for children under 13.
Out of the free agents, Lola Bonta and some of the others, Kayla Sharples, for example, those would be two I would prioritize bringing back. How about you, Carrie?
Yeah, I mean, those are the rocks of the team at the moment. Those are who Casey also promotes on every single poster and whatnot. Sharples, our defense has picked up ever since that she got here, and Low is just Low.
Who just seems to be getting better with age.
Exactly.
How about you, Daniel? Would those be maybe the two you would prioritize?
Yes, actually. I think I would also prioritize okay, I'll give you a top five. I think to me, Sharples and Low are near the top of that. After that, it's a next up of Hannah, not Hannah, Haley Mace and Bia are the two that I think you've got to get back under there. And then after that, you can look at some of the young players, maybe Mary Long, maybe Katie Scott. Really liked what we saw from Katie Scott. That might round out that like five in terms of, do you want to lose a young player that has a really high ceiling? I don't know if you do, if you're the current. So I'd be curious to see. But I think those are, like, looking at the list, there's a lot there. But I think like the ones for me that stand out the most are that you've got to bring back are Bia, Low, Sharples, and Mace. And then after that, I think you can kind of see where the chips fall, what other players are available for you to kind of do what you're trying to do.
So Rocky would not be a part of that top five.
Oh yes, sorry. I'll put Rocky there then at fifth. I talked about her like just seconds ago, and I didn't.
That's what I was asking.
Yes, no, yeah. Rocky, of course, is fifth. Sorry, excuse me there. So yeah, that'd be my list. It's like, and we're talking like Sharples and Low T1. I don't like, they're both equally important, I think, for the spine and the leadership of this team, especially because next year Alana Cook will be coming off of a reconstructed, very severe knee reconstruction. Whenever she returns, you've got to have some familiarity and some stoutness at the back, I think. Otherwise, if you let Sharples walk, then you're probably getting in 1 to 2 new center backs in the off season, and you're looking at that and Gabrielle Robinson and E-Ball as your back line. So I think Sharples is almost as important, if not maybe more important than Low, for the spine and the success of that defense.
Yeah, purely from the quality on the field. I'm not saying Low's not quality, but purely from the quality on the field, I think Kayla is the number one priority for building out a team that can win. Low is next, just because, again, what she can do, I think her minutes might get more limited over the next couple of years, but I would definitely try to get her back for 2 more years.
The leadership that she brings in the locker room team is unprecedented. So I think that as much as what she can give on the field also is why I was saying, like, they're both T1 for me. I think on the field wise, Sharples is more important, but as a whole, I think Low, being kind of the face of the franchise in the way that she is, in the locker room, on the field, off the field, in the community, you've got to keep her. But yeah.
And Selly coordinator.
Yes, Selly coordinator.
All right, so I think we kind of agree Kayla and Lowe are the first two priorities of this free agent list.
Mm-hmm.
Carrie, you in agreement?
Yes.
Who was next?
Bia.
Do you think they cannot be a good team without Bia?
I think they can be a great team with Bia, but I think they can be a good team without her.
With her age, with her injuries the last 2 seasons, is she much more of a risk as she gets older of more injuries and not being available, and you're using up a large amount of cap space? I don't know what anybody's being paid, so this is speculation, of course.
Yeah, of course, right. I don't know, Carrie.
I feel like just from what we've seen between Bia and Dabinia, one of them's always healthy, one of them seems to always be hurt at the same time. And I feel like having neither of them, just hypothetically, if they got to a point next season or even this season that we don't have both of them, I think that talent of the midfield and the movement from the midfield to the final three kind of drops off a bit.
It does, but we also don't know what other players might be available or continuing to develop. So there's always that aspect to it. Because we mentioned earlier that Jericho was on loan; she's a free agent, but you also have Frida Mukoma with the on loan to a team in China, and she's under contract for a while too. She's just 18. She's got speed and some skill, and she's not necessarily Bia, but she's a little maybe she from what little I've seen of her, she's a kind of Timwa-ish player. So I don't know if that makes the difference, knowing that she might be coming into camp. Mary Long growing into a role, Alex Pfeiffer growing into a role that might make Bia more expendable for the cash. So I don't know. I don't know if I would put Bia there at third myself. I'm not saying we don't, but I'm just not sure if I would.
Well, I think with you mentioned Mary Long coming into that position as a possibility, I think that we're going to see a lot of hold off from. I'm going to say that we re-sign a lot of the younger players, but I think we're going to have to wait for a long time to actually hear that they get re-signed because of the NWSL 2 league that's coming in play next year.
Yeah. I would be very surprised if Mary Long doesn't re-sign with the first team.
Yeah.
Not saying they won't, but again, we don't know what the loan rules will be to the 2 team and such like that.
Right. It could very much be like early SKC 2 days, whenever it was, you've been injured for a while, you're going to go play with Swope Park for a game and then come back to the first team.
Yeah. And also just you're not getting minutes. You didn't get a lot of minutes in the first team game. You go play with the 2 team to keep getting minutes and getting better. Who, after Bia, who do you guys think would be the next priority? You had 5 listed. You had your top 5 earlier. One of them was Rocky. What was the other one?
I would put oh no, mine
was Haley.
Yes.
I think
yes.
And I might even argue that Haley over Bia in that spot, because I originally in my head I was thinking here's 2 for sure, here's the next 2, where's the next one? And I think I smartly never answered whether or not Bia was my third. I think Haley probably is the third most important to me in the long run. If you think about the Swiss Army knife ability, but like the level that she brings at either center back or right back or left back or possibly on the wing, running, chasing things down late in the game, playing her more as a withdrawn, fullback that kind of tucks in and they play out of a back 3, or being a wing back that bombs up. Her long ball service, her ability to link up, her 1v1 defending, like there's so much that she brings that I just think you can't ignore that. And that is like when she's healthy on that back line I think she's a player that you also try and lock down just for the fact that she can play a lot of different roles and do them well, extremely well.
I do know if I was Boston or Denver, I would be very much talking to her as a foundation to build a back line and the
Correct.
versatility.
Yep.
I mean, obviously, I'd be talking to 7 of these players probably easily, if not
Yeah.
all of them. But yeah, I think Haley would be my next priority if it was me. After Kayla Lowe, Haley would be my next priority. Just again, veteran, can a variety of roles that she can play well, and also just enough hard nosedness, physical
Yeah.
play that she can bring to it. So I really like her as a player and what she can do. So she would be my top 3.
Yep. And then, yeah, after that, probably Rocky.
So Bia, Rocky for you.
Yeah.
Carrie's nodding her head yes.
Yeah.
Again, I'm obviously I would love to have Bia back. It's just I don't know the amount of money, the health that makes
Yeah.
me much more concerned than you guys are at this point, I think.
Yeah, but I also think like those are also probably thought processes for the current as well.
Yeah.
And just kind of looking at evaluating what their needs are gonna be going forward. How maybe does the development of other players fit the ability to get in there? Is there a high priced forward from other parts of the world that really want to come here as well?
Right.
Are there high priced forwards that may or may not have player contract options to get out of their contract to come here and play in Kansas City that, could be a huge U.S. women's national team name? Like, I mean, those there are possibilities too. So it could be
Other players
interesting.
within this league.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were just saying from around the world. I'm like, I was just
No,
looking,
no.
unrestricted free agents in this league. There's some pretty good ones.
Yep. There's one with a player option that certainly will be interesting if she wants to stay in Portland.
Yeah. Who would that be?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
All right. I think we have your 5 top. Who's your next 5 priorities for re-signing?
Oh,
Next couple.
yep.
Wait, real quick. I think that we're talking salaries and we don't know if B is going to be necessarily worth it or something like that. Both of the expansion teams have over $1 million in allocation.
Yeah.
That comes into play if we sign a player and we can somehow make a trade just for the allocation money.
Yeah.
It's nice to not worry about expansion drafts.
They did that with Alex Loera, of course, and everyone freaked out about the move. And to no fault of Loera's, that move worked out well for the current in the fact that Loera has had sadly 2 ACL tears and hasn't played a whole lot. But player something like that too. It makes sense to.
For her, we were still forced to make a move. We don't have to make a move to
I know.
Boston or Denver Summit now.
They should. They should.
Yeah.
They
Summit
should.
Summit FC, was it?
Yes.
But just saying that the Loera trade had to happen in some way, shape,
It's
or form.
true.
Yeah. And I won't say none of it was her fault. The physical injuries were not her fault.
No, they were not. To no fault of her own.
Right. That just happens. And it's a shame that it's happened to her twice.
Yep.
But again, this is why I hesitate with Bia, for example, is because I've seen too many teams that I follow and like, oh yeah, bring that player back. And then they're injured and there's a 2 or 3 year contract of them sitting there playing 2, 3, 5 games, injured, sit out, it just goes on and on and on, and you're wasting space on a bench, space on cap, and international spots and all these type of things. So that's why I don't, as much as I like Bia, and she is an impressive player, and she makes this team better, I'm not sure that they can't do something that would make the team just as good in a different way. Who else? Like me, let's see, running through the free agents again, Reagan, Katie Scott. We've talked about Mary Long, Kristen Hamilton. Sorry, Kristen, I can't see re-upping you at this point. Claire Gagne and Bailey, I think, are the ones we haven't talked about too much. Well, Jericho. Sorry, Jericho. We can use that space somewhere else.
That's fine. We'll see her.
Yeah.
Later this week, maybe.
I will be out of town, but
I will be there on Thursday and then on Friday. So at least that's my plan. Are you going to be there, Carrie?
I am.
As a ticket person or as a media person?
Ticket, probably. Unless I can't find anyone to go with, then I will be media.
All right. Anybody else you wanted to definitely keep or definitely not keep? I'll take that as a no.
Yeah. I think I'll just say this for the development promise, I think you got to keep Katie Scott.
I would.
In some way, shape, or form. And I could see a player like Stegletter who hasn't really broken in any way, shape, or form with this team over the last 2 years, outside of some appearances in friendly tournaments. I think that the promise of what Katie Scott can be is a player you just bring back, and she kind of usurps the minutes and role that Stegletter had. She might be number 6 on my list, to be honest. And looking at this, Ivory, I really like as a solid, strong in-league backup. It's a mutual option. I'm sure that will probably get picked up both ways.
Yeah.
So
I would think so. And the only reason it would not would be that she would want to go someplace that she'd be a starter.
Yep.
Which again, 2 new teams. She's one of several backups in this league that probably can just be a starter somewhere else if they have the right opportunity. Although that doesn't always pay off very well, as we've seen with a few players. But she would be one of mine also because she's a good quality keeper.
Yep. Agreed.
Again, without knowing salaries, which I do wish they would do what the MLS Players Association would do and release salaries, but I don't know if we'll ever see that anytime soon. Claire Gagne, I mean, we haven't seen enough of her on anything. Perfect 2-team player to go play, I think, if she has an interest in doing that. But yeah, I think we've hit most of our targets of what we'd want to, and nobody, and honestly, I hate to say it, but nobody other than Kristen Hamilton and Jericho would I say don't bring back. The others are, you got to make the judgment based upon salary and what you know of what you can bring in from around the world. Fair?
Fair.
That's probably fair.
It's not like I have anything against some of those players, Reagan or Bailey or any of those players, because I don't. They're good players. But I think they might be perfect players to go to another team that they can definitely compete for starting spots.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Are your business expenses playing hide and seek? With Uber for Business, the small spends that slip through the cracks, like rides and meals, go right where you need them. Because it integrates with leading expense platforms, you can say goodbye to surprise costs, missing dollars, or chasing receipts. Everything's track downable. Uber for Business. Make small steps that make a big impact. Learn more at uber.com/small steps.
After Zoomies at the dog park, it's time for Drive Up at Target. In goes a big bag of kibble and one squeaky chicken toy for the good boy. Drive Up that's ready when you are, only in the Target app. Just tap Target.
The McDonald's Snack Wrap is back. You brought it back. Ranch Snack Wrap. Spicy Snack Wrap. You broke the internet. For a snack. Snack Wrap is back. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
All right. Has been a bit of news for the Current over the last week. We last spoke, I think, in the middle of the Teal Rising Cup, maybe.
Yep.
But they did the final. They hosted another trophy. It was not a 3D printed trophy. $10,000 Tiffany's trophy, I think. Something like that is what I heard. They went for a real one. But they hosted the trophy. They won the final.
I
What
mean,
stood out?
if you can get Pitbull to come perform at your owner's 50th birthday party, then why not get Tiffany to give you a real trophy?
Yes.
What stood out? Mary Long playing striker for me. I don't know that they kind of had her trying to do a whole lot of hold up stuff, and get in behind at the same time. And I don't know that she knows the striker position well enough yet to know when she needs to hold up and when she needs to try and turn the shoulder and go. But I thought she did okay, considering the fact that Corinthians team we're talking like 3 of the last 4 South American champions. They are continental at the club level. They have won like
Missing
4
a few
straight
players.
Brazilian leagues. Sure. Both Brazilian teams were missing a few players that were at the off with
Copa.
the Copa America, but that's still a very good team, and there's still some very good players that are on that squad, that were out there, and so I thought she held her own, and they were a very physical team, and you're looking at a 19-year-old kind of going and banging around with some of the older Brazilian, very experienced, very physical defenders, and held her own. Got a goal, absolutely deked the crap out of the center back for Corinthians. She kind of ducked her run back for a second and made her jump out to block the cut back to the penalty spot, and instead she just kind of skated in behind, made sure she was behind the ball with Cooper and tapped it in, and just phenomenal finish. Or phenomenal run, to create a very easy finish is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
And so I think those little things, I know Haley Hopkins mentioned it in the post game. Those kind of things go unnoticed by a lot of people. That was a really savvy move, from her to create her own space for the shot.
What do you think of Mary Carey?
She was good. But I don't really think that there was. I mean, I only really paid attention to the second game, where she had the game-winning goal. She was good in that. Outside of that, did I see anything that I can really remember and think that, oh yeah, that was a really good moment? Not really. But then again, I only paid attention to one of the 2 games because I was too busy doing media stuff, and then I was just yapping with my parents during the second half of the first game.
Yeah. One of the things I noticed, and I like what Daniel was saying and what Haley said in the presser, is I think she's gotten a lot of unfair comments about her. Do I think she's the best striker in the league, best winger in the league, best forward in the league? No, hell no. She's not even necessarily the best under 20 forward on this team. However, I saw comments, people like, oh, she didn't even make a good run. She had to come back and fix it. No, that wasn't a very intentional move. That Daniel called it a deke. I called it a feint or whatever you want to call it, but
yeah,
it was a smart play.
Yeah.
And
it was a great ball in by Cooper as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Cooper did the right thing, and people are like, oh, Cooper did all the work. Well, Cooper did a lot of the work.
Cooper
But
does a
Mary was in
lot
the
of
right
the
place.
work, period.
Right.
Like for a lot of other people's goals.
Yes.
That's why she does what she does.
Why she's on the national team scoring goals and having Lindsay Heaps hug her, So
too, like you think of the ball that she served to Heaps for the header, it's perfect, literally on a platter. Like if Heaps should not have missed that goal from where they were. So no, I think I see what you're saying about it, and I think I agree because I've seen some of the narrative around her. No, she was the Nepo baby and all the daughters of the owners and all this stuff. And like, I think what bugs me about it is if you remove who her parents are in this whole factor, which is hard for some people, but if you remove who her parents are in this whole factor, you have a player that was producing very well on a bronze medal team at the U17 World Cup. She was one of the top 100 players in her adjusted freshman class of college. She finished high school a year early, reclassified to Duke, went a year early, goes and plays at Duke, has a decent season as a freshman off the bench, and scored a bunch of goals coming off the bench for Duke, and then gets signed to a pro team. If you looked at that, any other player that was on that U20 national team and said, oh, or the U17, they started, they did well, they scored and assisted a bunch in the tournament, they were productive in their first year of college, and an NWSL team picked them up, you'd say, okay. But because she's the owners, it's all of a sudden different. Owner's kid, it's all of a sudden different. And it's just, I think the biggest person, the person who loses here is Mary. Because fans who want to stoke that narrative about one of their own players that they are there to support is the antithesis of fandom for me. She came out, she's done what she's asked. She hasn't been gilt-edged a role on this team. She's had to play a lot because there's been a lot of injuries in front of her. And Pfeiffer wasn't healthy yet to be the player that would play those minutes. So like that's, in reality, if Pfeiffer was healthy at the start of the year, those would have been Pfeiffer's minutes, but she wasn't. So things have happened that call that in. And like, I think we gotta stop making the conversation around her, at least right now, the nepotism thing, because she, regardless of who her parents are, she has legitimate talent and belongs probably on an NWSL roster somewhere. And with an opportunity to learn and grow and potentially earn minutes. So like at this point, it's ridiculous because I thought she did well in both games.
She has potential to be a long-term NWSL player, potentially a full national team player. I mean, I'd need to see way more than what we've seen so far to say that, because I've seen a whole lot of U18 players that looked good who never played more than a couple minutes on the national team, full national team.
I mean, even just not getting any minutes in games up until just more recently, she's still getting the call-ups to the U20s, the U18s, and even there, she hasn't touched the ball in a professional game, and she's still putting in goals at a national team level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If she got out there and she looked like she didn't belong, fine. Play the Nepo card, play the owner's daughter shit and all that stuff. I might be saying it too. But if she didn't belong out there, if she didn't look like she belonged, fine, say that. She does look like she belongs. She's not the best player on the team. Nobody's saying that. She's not going to start over Bia if Bia's healthy. She's not going to start over Michelle Cooper or Dabinia or Temwa or Alex Pfeiffer when she's healthy. Nichelle Prince.
Yeah.
Well, I'm starting to get maybe she starts over Nichelle Prince, quite honestly. But Nichelle needs to go to another team and get minutes. We've discussed that in a previous pod, I believe. No, Nichelle, I mean, she probably was not doing it over Nichelle either. I'm being a little snarky. But when those other people aren't healthy, when they're called up, when they're doing this, when they're doing that, or they're whatever, she gets minutes. She doesn't look like she doesn't belong. She's good. It's okay.
Yep.
I hate that we even have to like defend her.
I agree. I think, of course, those comments are usually from nameless, faceless people or on Reddit where brain cells are lacking. But
Facebook. I've seen it on Facebook. I've seen it on
I think
Twitter. I've seen
there have been a fair amount of Kansas City fans who actually know soccer that are willing to call it out and point at the situation and look at it reasonably. And I think I hope more of those who maybe detractors or be whining about nepotism or who her parents are can probably take a good chill pill with it.
I would not be surprised if in a couple years we're going to have a game started with Alex Pfeiffer and Mary Long and Tim Waugh, and they score 3 freaking goals. So,
yep.
Would not be surprised. Not predicting it though, but I would not be surprised.
That's fair. Predictions you have to be held
to. Well, I should have said Michelle Cooper in there too. So yeah. Anyway, young players.
Katie Scott was another one.
What's that?
I said Katie Scott was another one.
Yeah, and I was pretty high on her defense. I was not as high on her moving the ball forward as I was hoping I would be. I think with the youth national teams, when I've seen her play, I thought she did really, really well. I mean, she was captaining the last team she was called up to, I believe. And I thought these 2 games in the Teal Rising Cup, she played really well. But I also think that perhaps some of that was fitness, especially in the second game. She's, you don't play a ton of minutes and full games against adults and all that other stuff. That may have played into it because they were definitely looking like they were tired towards the end of that second game.
Yeah, I think what impressed me the most was like she's small, she's short, but she's kind of feisty in that like Desi Scott, like short. I'm willing to fly into every challenge and my will is going to deal with your strength or she even won an aerial battle with a player, and there was a couple of she always seemed to be in the right place and positioning defensively against some really crafty players for Corinthians. So I think like her play in general was impressed to see. I loved the vision, and I think there was a couple of that she made on some of those passes. I know you felt like you didn't like her play coming out of the back necessarily. I loved the vision and what she was trying to do, and there was a couple of passes that she hit, and I was like, okay, you can hit that pass, you just didn't do it and consistently. But like it's also kind of one of those things like if you don't try it, it's not going to happen regardless. And I thought I thought she was in a good spot, in a good place where she could try things and not be punished for them if they went wrong. And I thought that was like I think that like full field diagonal switch will be a thing that she can do very frequently at a high level eventually, because the vision is in it. She understood the timing of it. The ball just wasn't the right ball a couple of times, or didn't have enough distance on it. And I think if she does, I mean, imagine her just smacking that ball up to Temwa in Haley Mace like fashion. Is kind of what I saw from her on that. So really promising player for the future. Maybe not a starter even until a couple of years from now, but quite the player for the future. Someone you've got to keep getting minutes in some way, shape, or form to help that development not stagnate.
I agree. Like again, my criticism I think was a lot in the second half of the second game, where there was probably a lot of tired legs that she was not hitting them as well as she should have been.
Yeah, that's fair.
I will counter my own arguments. You know that. I absolutely agree that it would be great to have her re-signed and on this team. Or again, we don't know how the whole second team contract deal stuff works. If they'll have stuff like MLS has, where you can sign a hybrid contract for the 2 team and then move back up to the first team, things like that. I don't know. But hopefully they have that figured out. I would like to see her back. Anything else from Teal Rising? About Lacho, Marta, Flora, whatever order that goes in. The Kansas City Marta.
She was fast. Again, I feel like it's been a while since it's all happened. What, like a week?
You didn't
away?
rewatch it just yesterday?
I did not rewatch it yesterday. I'm
No,
not
I didn't either.
scary.
Where were you 1 week from a one week ago when the KC Current lifted the Teal Rising Cup.
That's right. It was 1 week ago,
The
wasn't it?
inaugural Teal Rising Cup.
I was just happy that they didn't have some security guard standing in the middle of the shot for me this time.
That was very nice. I have good video and photos from a trophy celebration at CPKC Stadium. Shocker.
We were getting photos of Sperry and sending them to him from
Yeah,
behind.
I did. It was not my best angle. I'll just say that. Sometimes when I'm like in the middle of typing things out or at a thought, trying to get something tweeted out, I have the RBF kind of going on, and that photo was the one that they zoomed in on my face for, and I was like, great, thanks guys. Okay, Jericho, back on track. I thought Jericho was fine.
Not Jericho.
No,
Lacho.
not Jericho. Lacho. Oh, goodness.
Lacho
sorry.
Marta. Flora.
Lacho.
Flora Marta.
Yeah.
Lacho.
I thought she was fine. I thought she actually had some really good ideas. I don't think they came off in terms of timing, and I just feel like with reps and consistent minutes, maybe they do come off. And I think that might have left a lot of people again kind of making those criticisms of, oh, she seemed to lose the ball a lot. She didn't seem to be well. From up top, the vision and the movement and the ideas that she was trying to string together, maybe some of the players were too young to understand it. Mary Long, maybe the timing wasn't right because they're not all used to that timing of playing together and the actions and recognizing the decisions and all that kind of stuff. So I liked what I saw from her. I actually liked what I saw from her more in the Palmeiras game than I did in the Corinthians game.
Yes,
for sure. But I still see like the playmaking and the combination vision that she has. I like it. I think it's something that this team needs to have in some way, shape, or form. Because she is crafty, she has good ideas. So yeah, it just didn't always pan out in that Corinthians game.
And that's what that was the point that I was going to make, was that I thought she was much better in the first game than the second game. I thought from going back and watching the broadcast, the first game she looked really good. You and I were not able to be there and watch that one live. In the second game, again, these are players who haven't played a ton of minutes this year, and now they're playing a Saturday, Tuesday games, so they might have had tired legs. A lot of that does affect how you play in those type of games, and especially for players who run a lot and make passes and stuff like that. So I do give her a little benefit of the doubt in that case. I thought she looked really good in the first game. Second game, I saw some good things. I saw some good play. The right ideas that just didn't quite happen. But it also, they may be a better team. So, well, they were a better team probably. So,
yep.
Anyone else? Laurel Ivory. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we should give a shout to the inaugural MVP of the Toe Raising Cup, Haley Hopkins.
Yeah, I thought she was actually really good in both games.
Yes,
I did too. I think
both ways.
Well, I feel like I said that I didn't really pay enough attention to the players that we were just talking about. I feel like I watched Haley the most because I liked her so much last year at North Carolina.
Yeah.
That was a player I was like, oh, she's never going to Kansas City. Why would you do that? But now she's here and I actually got to watch her. She's a blast.
I know. She's a player I really like, and I was just kind of the same. Like when she was coming to Kansas City, I was a little bit surprised, but happy because I liked her, and I also think she could fit in at the 9 role a lot more, just with her size and hold up and all that she can do. I'd like to actually see that in some first team full regular season games. But she scored 2 goals in the first game and just played really well in the second too. So she does deserving MVP from the Teal Rising Cup commissioner.
It was kind of a shame that those cups weren't actually teal. Like no teal trophy.
No, I think no. We gotta like the teal. You finally got the all teal kits. Let's chill about like complaining about what is and isn't teal at this rate.
No.
Okay, I have to say when I'm editing photos, that there's actually now too much teal. All those players next to each other in teal, the little teal cardboard cutout thing that says Teal Rising Cup on it, with the teal stands behind it and some teal lights, and it's like I need a neutral gray somewhere to make sure I'm getting the right white balance, and it kind of was just an overwhelming amount of teal. I walked away from editing photos. I was like, wah.
Boo-hoo. Oh, world's smallest violin for you, Thad.
I do think that it's hilarious that the tournament was sponsored by Visit Missouri, and so the trophy had a bunch of Missouri ribbon banners on it.
Yes.
And so it's all these Brazilians fighting for a trophy that says Missouri on it.
All right. Daniel, what was your favorite moment?
The honorary raising of the Missouri flag by Dabinia. Oh, what a moment. That will go down as the greatest moment in Teal Rising Cup history.
In between the third place game and the championship game, they lowered the flag, made sure that Dabinia could reach the rope, and then she raised the flag back up.
Oh.
That was a very impressive moment. So let's just recap real quick. Teal Rising Cup champions. They raised a trophy. A lot of players that didn't get a lot of minutes got their legs tested and got some time, and they got they could evaluate them in game situations, and it's a winning moment, and they had something happen in this long break. So all positives, all good, and maybe a player from Corinthians or Palmeiras will want to come here someday.
And no injuries.
Correct. Laurel Ivory, liked her. Thought she was good.
Yes. I mentioned her earlier, but I got cut off.
I know, but she made, and I wanted to bring it back just for you. I thought she made a couple of really good saves in that second game. She was kind of fearless coming out of her box. The angle that the pass comes in for the goal that Crucian scored is so difficult for her to read when and where to come out for it. And I thought she probably handled it as best she could and in terms of staying home, but at some point a header from that range is going to be very difficult to stop.
Yeah, and I thought she played really well.
Yes. Yep.
All right. Any last Teal Rising Cup memories, mementos, whatever? Going once, going twice, gone.
Wait.
Next up, what?
I need to clear my name. Cody said that I elbowed him during the media game. I did not. It was a friendly push.
I was more proud of you when I thought it was an elbow.
No, he made it sound like I went at him. Just full elbow.
You should have.
I did not.
I didn't say you did. I'm saying you should have. Like a flying elbow drop. I mean, you might have had to get a running start off of a ramp. No short joke intended there, but
I was gonna say I'm only so tall.
Who's taller, you or Katie Scott?
I don't know. I am shorter though than the New York City FC player that there was yesterday, 2 days ago, whatever. We were making fun of his height by 1 inch. I'm shorter.
I have a shot of him running down the field, and again, this is going back to Sporting now, but Sporting playing him, and I don't know who does the boards, what ads are playing on there and stuff, but I have a shot of him running down the field, and across the boards right behind him is "Built for Kids," and I was just like, okay, all right.
I'm shorter than Katie Scott by 1 inch as well.
By the posted size.
Yes, she is 5'3".
I don't trust those stats. But then again, I didn't think you were 5'2" either. So, I'm not like super tall or anything, so I don't have a ton of room. The Current also announced, or they did the groundbreaking of the new training center and championship field pitch, whatever they're going to call it, 2,000 seats. What I found very interesting was the field is already there, and they're building the bleachers up around the field that already exists.
Yes.
So, but it's cool that it will be temperature controlled, so they can, in theory, do stuff with that year round. and that's where the two team will play and potentially other youth development player pathway stuff.
Temperature controlled, but they're not building like anything around it, like a building, right? It's not going to be in a building.
It's not going to be in a building. It's
Okay.
just bleachers around it, and there is supposed to be some fan amenities, which I assume means indoor toilets, not porta potties. But I don't know that for a fact. I did not ask that question.
Oh, swope.
Yeah, but it will be similar to Swope Park, Children's Victory Field, whatever that is, except it'll be more bleachers and something slightly nicer and probably in a teal color.
Teal field.
So and then some other fields are adding on for more competition, for more youth stuff, and potentially a road that runs around the back and some other stuff. But I just found interesting that the new training stuff will be not connected to the current training center. I just thought that was odd. I would think you would have a walkway you could go through without having to go out into the cold or rain or whatever. If you wanted to go use the other exercise bikes or gym equipment, whatever, lifting equipment, whatever. So I bet you at some point they will decide that they need to add that walkway. Any other current news? National team news? Women's soccer news in general?
Lorena makes it through to the knockout stage of Copa America with Brazil. Claps and go whoever plays England in the women's Euro final, because nobody wants to see England soccer fans happy.
Nobody does. Have you been able to watch Lorena much? I have not been doing any watching.
No, did not get a chance to. But I mean, I'm paying attention in FOTMob. That's how I'm saying it, Cody. I don't care.
FOTMob, FOotmob, I don't care. It's the little green thing that pops up notifications to me. That's what really counts. All right. Why do you have a miniature spatula?
It was on my desk, and I needed something to fidget with.
But why was it on your desk?
Honestly, no clue.
Are you making very small pancakes while we pod?
No, you know what? I think something spilled, and I think I was using it to scrape off the residue.
Okay. Let's see.
You're just making slime.
No. It's trying to get the slime off my desk.
Daniel's very slime enjoyer.
I was wondering if it was your kid's cooking set or something.
No, this is like a little metal like serving spatula basically for like brownies and bars and stuff like that. I do make a mean ooey gooey butter cake bar. That's quite good.
Quite St. Louisan of you.
Yep. I shoulder shrug because it tastes good. I don't really freaking care where it comes from.
Dad will have to judge that.
I will say the best ooey gooey butter cake. I've had some in St. Louis, and the hotel that I stayed at when I went to the sporting game there earlier this year had warm ooey gooey butter cake cookies for us. They were pretty good, and I had it when I ate there. But the best ooey gooey butter cake I had was actually at Jack Stack a couple days ago. Oh, it was perfect, phenomenal, brilliant. Kansas City staple. Well done.
St. Louis is the gooey butter cake capital of the world. Self-proclaimed.
They self-proclaim a lot of things, though, don't they?
Chess, soccer. I think they might even proclaimed bowling at one point.
Who do you think the best chess player on the KC Current is?
Alana.
I can see that.
She's the smartest one, I think. I think she's the smartest one. Stanford engineering degree. I mean, she's right. I'm pretty sure she's engineering degree, if I'm mistaken.
Lo has an engineering degree from Stanford.
Lo has what was Alana's? I thought Alana's was like. I'm not surprised Lo has one.
You know, I will ask that question, or somebody will, but I don't know if we'll get a real answer. But my first bet would be Rocky. She might be the best chess player.
Alana Cook was Symbolic Systems.
What is that?
It explores the relationship between natural and artificial systems that use symbols to represent and communicate information. So, like computer science, IT, AI.
Ish.
Yeah, she's beyond anything I've got. So
blame her for AI.
No, I'm not blaming her for AI.
Yeah, I'm not
According
sure
to Wikipedia, she eats a plant-based diet. So, anyways, it's probably a tie between. I don't know that Lowe plays chess though. I think Alana's good with the mind games and the and all of that.
Yeah, I remember talking to Rocky and being very impressed with how thoughtful she was. So she was more of a deep thinker type of person when I talked to her one-on-one. So that's why I went with Rocky.
Does that mean they're a good chess player though?
I think a good chess player has to be able to be very thoughtful about how that they're going to do it. But then again, there's different types of chess. So there's the long, slow chess, and there's the rapid and blitz chess, which is timed and you have to be very fast, which I think that's more of a forward type of thing, which is why Dayon from Sporting is good at that.
Yeah.
The more paced one.
I was just going to say to the audience, we're talking about this because St. Louis also claimed to be the chess capital.
Yes. Yes.
I think that was mentioned, right?
Yeah, it was thrown out there briefly.
Okay.
I will, again, I always have to be a devil's advocate myself quite a lot, as people know. I will give them some kudos that they actually have a nice chess club, like an actual building and all that stuff. And they do have a chess hall of fame with a very nice shop across from it. So it's pretty cool. So,
yeah.
All right. Any last words on the current or other women's soccer?
No mas.
The Denver Summit logo is pretty cool.
And I like the colors. I'll throw one other women's soccer thing out there, but very briefly. There is now a professional women's indoor soccer team starting this year. The KC Astras. And they have open tryouts coming up like next month. So I'll probably cover them more on the comments pod. So
yeah.
You gonna try out, Carrie?
No, I was just gonna say I knew it was a thing because I think Wichita was gonna have one or two teams. And if it was, I think I saw this and I questioned why are they having two teams from Wichita? Seems a little off. But if they want to call Wichita the LA of the Plains, go for it. With multiple soccer teams.
All right. I think we are done. We are tired, and Sperry needs sleep because he keeps doing weird things with his spatula. We are out.